Hey, good morning, everybody. Troy back at you. Uh, Woke up early, grabbed my first morning cigarette. Today's topic, I kind of wanted to think, hmm, let's go with money. That's a scary one, too. I think it was instituted to keep us as slaves, but um, let's look at it from a spiritual standpoint since it's Sunday morning and all. Uh, where you put your energy, where you put your time, um, where you put your concentration, things like that, that's where you put your life energy, your soul, right? You put it into your work because you get the money out of it. Um, so to me, that's where I kind of changed my view of money. Money wasn't something I just got for my time so that I could go buy something. Money was me actually um, giving away my life energy in return for something that I can then use. This money is my life energy. I can put it towards the things that I want my life to go into. Um, Really simple concept, but that's where things got really tricky for me because then I saw, oh my gosh, this entire world is built to siphon off my life energy. Um, we're taught that we're just supposed to go to work, pay your taxes, collect Social Security, and die, right? And I think that's where our entire world got turned upside down somewhere along the way, and I'm not sure who did it, but um, if their idea was to siphon off the life energy of every living human being, it's an amazingly intricate machine that they've got going on right now. Because think about it, you wake up every morning, you start your day putting your life energy into, oh gosh, I got to get ready to go to work. You get ready. All of that energy is going towards your job, but it's not actually going to anything that brings you joy, unless your job is your joy, which is where I'm trying to get everybody to figure out that you don't have to settle for a salary, because what you make as far as money wise does not matter. You can be the poorest person in the world, and as long as you're living the way you want to live, then why would you need money? So, getting back to the beginning though, you put all your energy into getting this money, right? And then right off the top, they say, hey, we're going to take 10, 15, 20% tax, right? This tax that they take out. So 10, 15, 20% of your life energy they strip right off the top of you, right? You're running around at 80% no matter what. So they strip that life energy off of you, and then they turn around, and when you go to purchase something, and usually 9 out of 10 times it's not something that you want, it's just something that you need to survive. So they actually get you to pay for the very things that, you know, say 500 years ago or even 150 years ago, in this great country of the United States, we used to go out and get for ourselves. You know, food, water, shelter, those things. They make us pay for it. You know, in the old days, we had to put our life energy into it by just doing it. Now we put our life energy into it by getting that job, and then having half of our, a certain percentage ripped off the top of our life energy. So where 100 years ago you had 100% of your life energy to put towards whatever you wanted to do, now you've only got 80% just starting out of the gate. Plus they also make you pay for all of the survival things, right? Your energy, your house, cars, gas, just to get here and there. Those little things, because now we've expanded so much. So every time you buy something, they siphon a little bit more off, right? Taxes. Income tax, sales tax, property tax, you name it. They're constantly siphoning as much of your life energy as you can. And then you get to the road and they say, well, the pool's a little dry. Sorry, we're only going to give you $500 a month. So just this little trickle of all of that built up life energy that you threw into this pool for us to, well, basically steal from you. We're going to give you a little trickle back out of that pool. And sorry about your luck. Just go home and make sure you keep paying your property taxes off of that bank account of your life energy that you had banked up from your earlier years when we were beating the hell out of you. So so you can see where my idea of money was getting really cynical. And I decided to change it up a little bit and say, you know what? I am going to start working for myself. That way I can basically set how much my time is worth to me as far as money. If I want to go charge $200 an hour, I'm in a field I can do that if that's how you want to be and if money is your only driver. But if you price yourself real decently, not completely out of the market, but if you price yourself to where you know what you're worth and you're getting paid what you're worth, then it doesn't matter. And I guess that's where my view of money and education and all of that kind of get twisted together, because our education system is upside down and ass backwards. My whole idea of our pay scale is backwards, because I think they should start paying us Social Security from, say, the time we're born till the time we're 20. Think about that for an idea. Say we flip our education system completely over on its head and say, look, we don't need pieces of paper to tell other people we know what we know, right? I'm a broadcast engineer. I've been doing it for 18 years. I'm decent at it. I'm probably pretty good at it, but who knows? But I don't have a piece of paper that says I know what I know. I have a lot of clients that call me up to ask me questions about stuff they can't figure out. I've got, manufacturers that have used me to fix transmitters that they've produced that their guys couldn't figure out. So it's not so much whether or not you can pass a test, it's whether or not you can pull knowledge from other places, right? Intelligence isn't knowing facts and figures and making simple things really, really complicated. To me, intelligence is taking a really complicated thing and making it really, really simple so I can teach it to, say like Cousin E, guy who is a psychology major. How's he a broadcast engineer now and a chief engineer for one of my station groups that I used to handle? Just little things like that. But here's the deal is, do you have something in your life that you really, really, really love to do? And how awesome is it when you get to share that with somebody else and teach them how to do it, It's so easy to teach somebody something that you're passionate about. So my view on the education system is, right now we churn out factory workers. We're built to make people that sit down, shut up, and can stay in a place for 8 hours a day and not move. I've never been built that way. I just learned how to play that game while I was there. I could do that stuff semi well, but I still wasn't built for sitting in one place. So right now we take 30 different students who all learn differently. Some are hands-on, some have to do stuff with their hands in order to learn it, some have to hear it, some have to see it, some have to write it down, some have to do it this way, that way, the other way, right? So we got a bunch of these kids that all learn in different ways, and then we sit them down and we teach them in only one way. And that's usually at the mercy of the teacher or the core curriculum, right? We teach 30 students one way. One student might learn that way, and it's a bell curve both ways, right? We got, say, a slim majority of the students learn in that one way that we're going to teach them, and then we got some really kids that excel at it, and then some kids that don't learn that way. It's not that they're stupid. Believe me, I've got a son that just graduated high school and struggled his entire time. And they beat him down and told him, you can't pass the test, you're not smart, you're not this, you're not that, you're not. And people believe those lies after a while if you tell them that enough. And believe me, I'm trying to deprogram that out of him, because nobody is stupid. Anybody can learn anything. It's just being taught in your language, the way you learn, right? How you see your world. Somebody's got to come in and talk to you in that language, and then you can learn it. And believe me, if you're passionate about the same thing as somebody who's trying to teach you it, you two will figure it out. So here's my idea. We start paying Social Security right when you come out the chute, right? You're born, boom. You start getting a paycheck because people need to keep you alive. Basically, right? And call it a crazy idea, but we do it just the way we do it now, raising a child, but we raise them with the village again. Go back to the old ways where, hey, the kid wants to be a fireman today. Cool, go ride with the fireman. The kid wants to be a police officer, ride with the cop. Ride with the police officer, see what that's like. He wants to be a spaceman? Well, if you live close to Kennedy, go take him into NASA. Or if there's a bunch of kids that want to be astronauts, we just take the whole school there for one day, right? Or a week. It doesn't matter, because we don't have to sit down and learn facts and figures. Not yet. We see what the kids are passionate about, and we find those kids that are passionate about certain things, and we start diverting them over to those fields. And they can narrow down, okay, I want to go into this way, say, I love electronics like me. I'm a gadget guy. I love to play with stuff that is electronic. I never thought in a million years I'd be in radio. I was a satellite tech before I got here. I was installing car stereos, selling cell phones, and installing DirecTV way back in the day. That was my job. I thought, man, I'm going to go into, something cool like wireless networking or, anything. But it was just a fluke that I ran into this. Thank you, Burger King. That was the best 6 hours of my life, and I figured out I couldn't go back to fast food after I was graduated and working adult jobs for a while. I'm sorry. It just wasn't my cup of tea anymore. But yeah, I got into this broadcast field and I fell in love with it because it was just amazing to me that I could make light that you can't see, make waves that you can't see, and broadcast somebody's voice to, however many people have a radio. It doesn't matter. I can broadcast it to 1,000 or 100,000, but it's just coming out of a neat magic light box. So, breaking that down as simply as that can make some child fall in love with that job, but they would never hear about it otherwise, because they sit and they learn their factory job, their factory type education system won't let them branch out. It's too confined, Common Core, that kind of thing, where you've got to learn one thing one way and our way. And believe me, I couldn't play that way. So we let these kids explore for the first 10, 15 years of their life, and then when they really figure out what they are passionate about, what they love to do, and it could be, man, I just want to run the stamper that stamps out quarter panels for my Chevy vehicle. But people are going to love that job. Some people will, and some people won't. Some people will love making the robot that does it for you, so nobody has to do it if nobody wants to, right? But it's a necessary evil. It has to be done. Somebody will figure it out, but the passionate people will do that. Nowadays, we settle for a career because of what we can get back in our life energy, right? We want to get the most of our life energy as we can back from the work we do or the time we put in anywhere. And a lot of times we do have to settle for something we kind of like, but it pays the bills, right? Well, what if we didn't have to? What if at 15 we knew what we were passionate about, and then they say, okay, now that you know exactly what you want to do with your life because you've gotten to experiment the entire time, you've gotten to see everything that you thought you wanted to do, now you know this is where your heart truly lies. Now we're going to take you to somebody who does this for a living, and you're going to learn from that person. And it's not they have this degree, they have that degree. No, they actually do this for a living because they are passionate about it as well, right? And that child will get the best education they've ever had and be able to further explore because they've never had the limitations put on them. They will maximize their return on their life energy because they're actually putting it to the things that their soul is pulled to do. Right? So right now, our currency system, they've tricked us into believing that it is just a piece of paper worth this much, right? It's just worth this much in gold, or this much in oil, or this much in gas, right? They've tricked us into thinking that that's how we're supposed to be looking at our money, when the whole time we should be looking at that as it is my life energy, and I need to be a lot more cognizant of where I'm putting my life energy and how much of it I'm actually getting back from what I'm doing for my life. And I think if we start doing that, if we start getting people to realize that you can change what you're doing right now. If you're truly passionate about something, I mean, I never thought I'd be doing YouTube, for God's sakes, but I'm finding I'm a little more passionate about it than what I thought I was. So maybe this will turn out to be something really cool, and yeah, we're just going to keep rolling with it while we can. But yeah, I think as soon as we start seeing money for what it truly is, and it is really your life energy that you're passing back and forth, and the life energy of everybody else that's ever put their time or their effort into getting that $1 bill, right? So if, say, in a spiritual sense, going all the way back to the very, very beginning, being Sunday, say you're the evil one and you want to siphon off the souls of an entire planet, how would you do that? You'd figure out a way for them to enslave themselves, to enslave their soul's energy into something, and then learn how to confiscate it much more efficiently than they can produce it. You can sit there and live off of the energy of a planet for years and years and eons, I guess. So, food for thought, kids. Think about it deep. Anyway, happy Sunday. Go worship God. It is a beautiful day. I think the sun's coming up finally, so hopefully I get to see a good sunrise. You guys take care and have a great week. Talk to you later.